Welcome back everybody. In the last episode we fit the chain link fence, which left me with a bit of a dilemma and an area that I was unsure on what I was going to do. Well, I've made the decision. It's going to become an overgrown, unmaintained, grassy area. So we've got static grass to apply, we've got various other products to apply as well. I have made a start where I accidentally forgot to press record, hence the reason why I'm redoing this intro. So on camera it's coming across very bright, and I'm just going to show you what products I have already placed down. So this is the first one. Let me just get into focus. It's the Jarvis Dark Earth Scatter, and that went down first. Following that, we went with the Jarvis Dark Brown Scatter, which looks like that, and that's as far as we got. As I'm sure you can see down this section here, that is going to look the same as this. I just stopped there. I've applied a brown paint just to cover it up. Ideally, you should cover the whole baseboard really. If we just take a look now at some of the products that I'll be using, you know, this is just a handful. There's other products that are going to be used. So if I ever see cheap trees, I will buy them for one simple reason. I don't want the tree, I want the stuff off the trees. So this is just scraped from the trees, just running it in the hand like so. You do get very green hands though. And it's just that sort of fine scatter that I want. And then moving on, we've got foliage, we've got clump foliage, and it's all going to be blended together. It's about a layering process, and you've got to build it up. Taking a closer look at the back scene, what we've got is we've got a fence that is separating the residential area from the railway. Now you can see here that the fence is broken down, so I think it would be a good idea to incorporate that in how we go about laying this overgrown area. And what I mean by that is a visible, not footpath, but an area where people have walked a few times, and you can tell they've walked a few times. It's not quite as overgrown in this section, whereas the left hand side and the right hand side will be more overgrown, and I think it'll sort of catch the eye and draw the eye to that area. I'm going to start with the leaf that I've pulled off the tree. Like I showed you, it's just in a tub. I'm going to avoid the bigger bits. We're not going to put any glue down at this stage yet either. We're just going to start getting things in position where we want it. It's going to be thicker at the back, not so thick towards the railway, a sense of depth. And all this is, it's a sort of fibrous clump foliage. You'd make bushes and things like that out of it, but I'm just going to sort of rip it apart. It's just a different shade of what we've already done basically. And now we're just going to get the darker shade. This is clump foliage, this is a dark green. Just get a bit of contrast in there. Fairly well built up, fairly well overgrown. The camera just slightly. You can see this section here is still sky. Well, that's because I ran out of the back scene buildings. So we're going to fairly well cover this up with, not cover it up as in like trees and stuff like that, but we are going to build a sense of height with foliage and bushes. Where the broken fences, just going to clear that a little bit, just as a sense of, I'm actually just going to use my finger, a sense of it's, you know, it's been worn down. There's no big bits in that area, it's all smaller. So before I glue it, I'm actually going to add the blended turf, T49. I'm going to stop there. Now we're going to apply the glue. Now that's completely saturated. It goes without saying as well, obviously you do need to spray something like IPA first, or a bit of fairer liquid in some water just to break the surface tension. Saturated, it's now just a waiting game. It's now the following day. This has dried about 95%. There is some areas around here that are still a little bit wet, but I'm happy to continue. And it's time for static grass now, so we're going to be using neat PVA, and when we apply it, we're going to be applying it in sort of blobs and spreading it around. We are going to disrupt some of these, but that's fine. I've got the tub outside of me ready to just sprinkle a few more on if needed. And we're just going to, instead of using PVA now, we're going to use the layering spray. And what you do is you just pull it apart. You can sort of stretch it out, turn it into sort of vines and that sort of thing. So, but we're going to be using it for bushes and just a starting area, sort of a ground point, I guess. Not going to glue anything in yet. We're bringing our attention to this side now. Remembering what we said. Overgrown, abandoned, hence the bushes are blocking one side of the gate. So let me now glue this in place. And yes, we are going to have to take it off and then glue it. So we're going to have to try and replicate it. I'd rather have a go first without any glue and then redo it with glue. That's all now drying. It's glued down, just neat PVA. All the little white marks you can see, they will disappear. Done down the pathway as well. Now I'm just waiting for delivery. I can't really do any more until that arrives. Well, the delivery has arrived. So let's get straight on with it. I'll just quickly show you that it just comes in a tub in sort of one clump and you just tear it apart. I've taken some of this away, what we did earlier. I've already done a bit of a pre-mock-up as to where I want stuff. That side is looking good, so we're going to move to the next side. Well, I think that's the fine detail we were waiting for. I'll just pull the camera back. I think that looks a million times better than what it did. So I think that's a wrap for this episode. All the foliage done. So I think the next episode, I've been painting these details as well. So we've got things like grip bins, handrails, these are air brake test trolleys, lots and lots of barrels, barrels on trolleys, and I think next episode we're going to either fit some of these parts, or we're going to wire up the lighting for the 6-foot batten lights that are installed. Not 100% sure yet. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button and I'll see you in the next one.